Henry Ford and his invention of the assembly line played and is playing a big part in the world's production. Many companies that do not use an assembly line go out of business because they cannot produce products fast enough. The assembly line not only broke barriers in history, but made life easier and affected the future in a very remarkable way. It all starts on a small farm in Greenfield Township, Michigan, when Henry was born youngest into a family of seven. His parents, William and Mary Ford, and his siblings, William Jr., Robert, Jane, and Margaret. Henry was an unusual boy and never wanted to work on the farm or in the coal mines. He wanted to do something he enjoyed. He reluctantly helped on the farm until he was 16 and then left home on foot to go find work. He found a job at Flowers Brothers Machine Shop and earned $2.50 a week. On June 4th, 1896, Henry Ford completed his first automobile and named it the quadricycle. On June 16, 1903, Ford Motor Company was founded in Detroit, Michigan. Ford forced their employees to work very hard, and many considered quitting. Ford understood that they were unhappy, and so they raised the wage to $5 a day. Most employees decided to stay after the wage was raised. Finally, in October of 1908, Ford completed its first car, the Model T, or the Tin Lizzie. The reason behind the nickname Tin Lizzie was the cause of a man entering into a car race with his Model T. Many people thought that the Model Ts resembled tin cans. This man named his Model T Old Liz, and before the race even began, the audience was cheering for the car with the nickname that stuck, Tin Lizzie. A customer can have a car painted any color he would like, so long as it is black, Henry Ford said after making black Model Ts for over a decade. Henry Ford is known as the inventor of mass production, and also is known for many other things, especially the assembly line. The assembly line is a conveyor belt that moves with parts on it. People are lined up along the conveyor belt and apply pieces and parts to the base of every car until, at the end, the base is completed. The assembly line has improved the amount of time to make the base of a car from 12 hours to 2.5. The assembly line is used in many businesses, but mostly in meatpacking, artillery, and automobile companies. Many people didn't believe Ford could pull off the assembly line, but he ignored them and kept pushing through. Now, the assembly line has evolved. Companies have found new ways to incorporate robots into working with humans to make the cars in a better, more efficient way. Ford has also begun to use robots in their system. The robots have helped a lot with the efficiency of making cars. This helps us keep things organized. Ford Executive Chairman, Henry Ford's grandson, admires his grandfather after more than 100 years of the moving assembly line being in operation. I am proud he was able to bring the freedom of mobility to millions. In 1943, after more than 30 years of using the moving assembly line, Ford began making airplanes for the U.S. Air Force. Then, in 1962, they began making Ford Flivver planes and had successfully flown 4 prototypes, but abandoned the project in 1928 because their test pilot, Harry Brooks, died in a Flivver crash in Melbourne, Florida. The economic effect of the assembly line is flawless. It drastically reduced the prices of production so we can buy better parts and therefore have more luxurious vehicles. The assembly line led to lower costs, more reliable, and higher quality products. Now, everything from toothpaste to tennis rackets are made on an assembly line. A larger amount of productivity leads to higher wages, which results in the employees having the capability of buying the product. This is called the virtuous cycle of growth. Stephen Burnett, a professor at Northwestern University's Kellogg School of Management, said, "It had a huge, huge impact." Unfortunately, in 1943, Henry's son Edsel died of stomach cancer and brucellosis. After 4 years of living without his son, Henry Ford died on April 7, 1947, at age 83 because of a hemorrhagic stroke. Many people were very sad when Henry died, and it was a great tragedy to the world, although the assembly line still exists. Henry Ford was an amazing man and implemented many wonderful ideas into the history of the world. He created an easier and more efficient way for people to build items. Many people believed in Henry Ford and his inventions. The assembly line is a big part of our economy and has clearly broken barriers in a profound way that affected the future in numerous ways.